All right, folks, remember we're trying to put a drawing down. We're going to mark up the drawing. And then you ask yourself, well, what information is going to help me? What do we know? Like what kind of triangle do I have? Right. And so this guy right here is a 45, 45, 90 triangle because it comes from a square. We just cut the angle in half. And it was in my video on the first day that we talked about these deals that when you cut the square in half, you get a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And to get from the leg to the hypotenuse, you multiply by the square root of 2. So we get 6 square root of 2 for the hypotenuse. That's what they're looking for. How long is this pathway right here? They give us a square piece of paper, origami paper. It's quite often a perfect square. And so I would try and make a perfect square. Hopefully this is the square tool. It's probably the rectangle tool though. Yeah, it's a rectangle tool. So I'm going to just do my best to make a square. And then we want the diagonal of the square, right? So let's draw on a diagonal. And this is the same question as above, right? Because we've got a 45, 45, 90 triangle. What makes this one a little bit more difficult? Well, you got to make your own drawing. And you got to know this is the diagonal. And you got to know that this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So 150 square root of 2 is going to be how big the fold is halfway along. Let's see, there's side the way along on each side is folded. So a square piece is 150 long on each side. Yeah, is folded in half along the diagonal. Yeah, so I lost confidence there for a second. Is that what they were looking for, right? So you might want to just double check if you found what they wanted, right? All right, let's see here, 33. Number 33. All right, so same idea again, right? We got a square. So that means this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So y is 45 degrees. This time, though, if we're given the hypotenuse and we got to get back to the leg, we got to divide by the square root of 2. They've been taking this as an answer, right? 13 over square root of 2. The denominator technically should be rationalized. So what you do is you multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, which is equivalent to 1, and you end up with 13 square root of 2 all over. And square root of 2 times square root of 2 is just square root of 4, which is plain 2. And then you could divide the 2 into the 13 and put down 6.5 square root of 2. All right. If you feel like you're barely hanging on as it is, I wouldn't worry about rationalizing the denominator right now. If you're trying to figure out, hey, I'm dividing by the square root of 2 to get to the leg, you're doing the right thing. Keep working at it. Don't beat yourself up. Don't worry so much about the little arithmetic steps. All right. I hope it doesn't matter that I don't have my picture on the screen. I just figured it would give me more space to write, and who needs to see my picture, right? So we've got, what do we got? Oh, we got a 45, 45, 90 triangle, right? Almost thought it was an equilateral for a second. I saw the right angle, right? So you got to kind of, orient yourself here. What do we got? And then I saw the 45-degree angle down here. So that means we've got a leg. This 6 is a leg, and then there would be a 6 over here for a leg, right? And then the hypotenuse would be 6 square root of 2 because you multiply by the square root of 2 to get to the hypotenuse. If you cut that in half, this would be 3 square root of 2 here and 3 square root of 2 here, and we would have another 45, 45, 90 triangle, right? So x has to be 3 square root of 2. All right, 35. We're rolling. Oh, okay, I got a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now, look at this. We got a geometric mean problem, actually. When you got the altitude drop to the hypotenuse, you've got 3 similar triangles here. So we could apply the geometric mean, but usually that's a little bit tougher than just doing 30, 60, 90 stuff. So let's see, what do we have? Well, this is the hypotenuse in this triangle. And this is a 60-degree angle right here. So this is the long leg. Is there anything easier that we could do? Geez. Well, I don't know. I mean, I always do the easiest thing first. Let's see here. In the big monster triangle, this is the long leg. Oh, okay. So to go from the long leg to the short leg, this would be a little bit easier. Okay, short leg. We divide by the square root of 3. So this side had to be 2 long in order for that side to end up being 2 square root of 3. Then this whole side over here would be 4 because you double the short leg to get to the hypotenuse of the big right triangle. So we got 4 on this side. Unfortunately, that doesn't help us a whole lot because we still need x and y. Wait, we can get y now, because if I see that this is the hypotenuse in this little triangle here, and this is a 30-degree angle, this is the short leg down here. So y is 1 long. Okay, then x is 3 long, and we're done. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Let's see on number 36. What kind of triangle do we have on 36? Holy smokes. It's not super obvious what we got going. Oh, wait. Look. See, they give us this side here is equal to this side here, which means this angle here is equal to this angle here, which means we've got a 45, 45, 90 triangle because we had a 90-degree angle down here. The only right triangle that has equal acute angles is the 45, 45, 90 because they have to add up to be 180. Okay, so then this leg over here is 5 square root of 2. We don't really need that leg, do we? We need to go from this leg to the hypotenuse. So you multiply by the square root of 2. So this one is 5 square root of 2 times square root of 2, which comes out to be square root of 2 times square root of 2 is just 2. So we get 10. All right? Because square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4. I've said this a few times. That gives you just plain 2, right? What squared is 4? 2. So 2 times 5 is 10. All right, so now what do we need? This is the hypotenuse. This is a leg in a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So this side must have been 5 because you know how you multiply by the square root of 2 to get the hypotenuse. All right, next one, number 37. 30, 60, 90 triangles again. I wonder if they're going to make us use geometric mean. We could. Look at this. See, this guy right here is shared between this triangle here, and it's shared between this triangle here. So look at that. Y and 9 are going to go in the other two spots. We could just put Y and 9 in those two spots. We could put 3 square root of 3 here. Let's just try this out for a second, okay? So when you multiply 3 square root of 3 times 3 square root of 3, you get 3 times 3 times square root of 3 times square root of 3. Let's see, that's 9, and then times 3 is 27. So we get 27 on the right side, and we get 9y on the left side when you multiply those two together, right? And so when we divide by 9, we get y equals 3. All right, so this part is 3 over here. I could do that, or this would have been way easier just to say, look, there's my 30-degree angle. What has to be on this side to give you 3 square root of 3 on the long leg? Well, 3 has to be there. And then this side would have to be 6, right? In this one, this is the short leg. There's the long leg. To get to the hypotenuse, you just double it. So we get 6 square root of 3. See how like the geometric mean was a lot more work than just using 30, 60, 90 triangles. All right. Anyways, number 38, we've got a 45, 45, 90 triangle. How do I know? Got a square, diagonal. So this is 45 degrees, right? They want y, so that's got to be square root of 2 times bigger than the leg, so 12 square root of 2. There's number 38. And I think that's it, isn't it? We've done them all. I hope your homework is looking good now. Thanks for watching my video.